Good morning, everybody. I hope you can all Um, Naririnig po ba ako? Okay, thank you po. So, um, we are all here today again for the SY 2021-2022 Basic Education Information System Validation. So, as we all know, we are still under the pandemic, so we cannot see each other face to face. So, we are doing this online just as last year. So, without much ado, I would like to welcome everybody to this activity, and to start our online orientation, we will have the prayer, national anthem, and Albay Forever, all via multimedia presentation.
Our Heavenly Father, the fount of all goodness and grace, the cause of wisdom, the source of intelligence, we welcome you, O Lord, to this auspicious gathering of your beloved, who continuously give you thanks for every opportunity to learn something new and become fruitful to the works of your creation. We humbly come to you, not because we are worthy, but because we find ourselves in need of you, who is our strength and our hope, to continue despite the challenges we face in health, prosperity, and our solidarity with one another. We pray that today's gathering, made possible by the grace of advancements in technology and social media, become successful in its endeavors, so we can offer it back to you as our humble offering to honor you, glorify you, and love you through our deeper connection with everyone. May we find bliss in today's session and become more productive children and co-creators of the earth. This we ask and pray through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Lupang hinilang
Good morning again. My respect to our superintendency, SDS Ma'am Norma B. Samantela, SESO 6, to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendents, Ma'am Maria Jenny T. Abayon, and Sir Lauro B. Miliano, to our Chief Education Supervisor for CID, Ma'am Sansita Peñarubia, and to our Chief Education Supervisor for SGOD, Sir Edwin Mias, to all our participants from public and private schools, to my fellow employees here at SDO Albay, as well as to the planning and research team, namely Sir Randy Aringo, our SEPs for planning and research, Sir Nick Bio, and we have two imports, Sir Noli Lucascia, the Register 1 of OPS, and Ma'am Nodelin Garcia, the AO2 of Ginubatan East Central School. A pleasant morning to all of you. Ano po? So today, as mentioned, we are gathered again for this school year's BEIS validation. We've finished with our orientation last April, if I'm not mistaken. Ano po, sir, you already oriented on how to access the BEIS online, how to download your templates, the profiles of the school, whether public LM, public secondary, or private or LUC. So, alam na po natin, meron na tayo. So, it is expected that as of today, nakapag-download at nakapag-encode na po tayo. So, with that, we are now ready for the validation. So, ito po yung medyo madugong proseso po. So, to welcome us all, may I call in our Chief Education Supervisor, Sir Edwin Mias, for the welcome message. Sir Ed.
My respect to our Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Norma B. Samantela, and of course to our ASDSS, Sir Lauro B. Miliano and Ma'am Maria Jenny T. Abayon, to the PRS family, the planning and research section, Ma'am Ting Dominguez and Sir Nick Bio, the program owners, and of course the staff, Sir Randy, Sir Noli, Ma'am Nudes, and of course, to our participants for today's undertaking, our school heads and BIS coordinators from the private and public schools, isang magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I'm so happy, friends, that we are here again to talk about, to be oriented on what we call BIS validation. Sabi nga po, true confidence is knowing that you alone are enough without the need for anyone else validation. This is one way of telling us, friends, that if you have established your integrity in doing things, especially in generating data, in maintaining the data in our school, kumbaga doon natin masasabi na hindi na kailangan yung validation pa. Because at the end of the day, we are confident na dito mismo sa atin ay na-establish na natin yung integridad natin kung paano magkaroon ng data na tama talaga. Yung sinasabi na with all honesty, andun yung integrity, andun yung accuracy, when it comes to data. But in our department, in the Department of Education, still validation is needed because that is part of the order. That is part of what we call inihingi sa atin ng Department of Education. Kaya wala tayong magagawa. But what is important here, friends, is that na sa inyo pa lang, okay na yung data. Take note, my dear friends, that in a validation process, meron tayong school level team, then of course the SDO level team. This is one way of really coming up with a data with high integrity. Kumbaga, andun yung integridad ng data natin. So, yun nga, ang aming pasasalamat na andito lagi ang PRS para pagtulungan, then of course, our school heads and BIS coordinator para tama, andun talaga yung data natin na inihingi galing sa inyo. Okay? So, sabi nga sa isang kasabihan, master the art of what we call self-love. and you will never have to seek validation ever again. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, always seek first yung tinatawag na pagmamahal natin sa sarili natin, and lahat ng gagawin natin ay sabi nga laging in accordance with the existing laws, with the existing orders sa atin sa DepEd, na hindi malilihis sa focus talaga natin. Okay, so in behalf, friends of the SDO Albay, of the School Governance and Operations Division, the Planning and Research Section, I warmly welcome you all to this online orientation of school year 2021-2022 BEIS validation. Good luck. God bless you always.
Thank you so much, Sir Ed, for that wonderful welcome. Indeed, it cannot be overstated the need for validation of data. Ano po, it must be innate in us, in our work as educators, as part of the Department of Education, that we must ensure always the accuracy, the validity, the quality of data that we produce. Kasi nga po, the data that we gather from the BEIS, and we all know that BEIS is the single source of truth for all this. Therefore, if the data that we gathered is not quality assured, then therefore, affected po ang lahat. Decision-making, policy-making, resource allocation, resource generation. So lahat po ito affected. So we must ensure the quality, the reliability of our data. Ano po? So yan po ang trabaho ng validators natin. That is why, as we continue po as we move on and let go and continue with our lives and with the BEIS validation, let me present to you kung ano po ang magiging discussion natin ngayon. So wag po sana kayo magsasawa because Sir Nick is attending still the nasa provincial canvassing po si Sir Nick. So wag po kayo magsasawa, ako lang po makikita ninyo. Mamaya po baka po mapilit ko si Ma'am Nods na magpakita po sa inyo, pero if not, then therefore, please bear with me at ako po ang inyong makikita for the entire morning. Okay po, so start with my discussion as to the validation of the BEIS for this school year. Allow me to share with you my presentation. Saglit lang po So I hope you can see my presentation po. Nakikita po ba? Yes. Okay. So, today is the one day. Actually, half day lang po tayo na orientation, online orientation on the SY2021-2022 BEIS validation. So, to start with, kanina po, you were asked to do the attendance survey. Ngayon po, this is the attendance link. So, please accomplish the link po para po alam natin kung sino po ang nag-attend. Mahalaga po na may nag-attend po, one per each school. But it is encouraged that hindi lang po isa mag-attend because this entails everybody's attention since this is the BEIS. Okay po, this is not the task of just one person in the school. Meron po dapat tayo na school validating team. Dapat po naka-organize na po ang school. Per DepEd Order number 27, Series 2019, the school is tasked to organize and meet the school validating team. So sila po dapat ang nangunguna sa pag-ensure ng validity, reliability, accuracy, and quality of data in the school. Okay po. So with that, you are encouraged po to share this po the presentation that you see today or the discussion para po sa mga kasamahan natin sa school. So please do accomplish the attendance link. Okay po, sana po nakuhanan po natin ito po ng picture at nakapag-accomplish na po tayo. Okay na po? So with that, we start with the reminders first. So ito po mahalaga po na tanggalin natin itong ito pa. So first is, schools must use their official email address in uploading the BEIS profile. So we are talking about public schools po dito, public LM and public secondary schools. So all of the schools in DepEd, you have your own official DepEd email addresses. So it is po a must that you use them. Otherwise, hindi po kayo makakapag-upload dun po sa ating link. So ang example po dito, ang email address po natin ay the school ID of the school at deped.gov.ph. So alam naman po natin siguro kung ano po yung mga school IDs natin, ano po. So I am talking to the public schools, all 556 public schools po ng ating DepEd Albay. So lahat po kayo may DepEd email, so yung pong gagamitin natin. So if you have not accessed this or you may have forgotten the password for your DepEd email address, mag-ano na po kayo, call the attention of your ICT coordinator or coordinate with Ma'am Jane tungkol po sa bagay na ito. Okay po? So yan po ang unang reminder natin. Second reminder is you have to upload the saved and accomplished BEIS profile that you downloaded from the BEIS. Ito po, in-emphasize na po namin ito during the orientation that you cannot copy last year's template. You cannot also copy and paste or cut-paste the data from last year and put it into the template for this year. You have to encode manually everything. Okay po, ano? So I repeat, you have to upload the saved and accomplished BEIS school profile for this year that you downloaded from the BEIS for this school year. Ano po? Hindi po pwede gamitin ang Excel file ng last year. Mag-i-error po yan. Okay po? Sana po, I have already stressed that enough na hindi na po may magtatawag sa amin or magme-message na nag-i-error pag-upload, yung pala ang ginamit ay yung last year po na form. Hindi po pwede gamitin ang last year na form. Okay po, pasensya na po kung ulit-ulit kami kasi minsan po talaga hindi rin po agad nakukuha ano. So bawal gamitin ang last year na form. Ang gagamitin po ang i-upload natin sa BEIS. Doon po sa ibibigay namin na link pala. I am sorry. I-upload nyo doon sa ibibigay namin na link yung na-accomplish po na BEIS template na na-save ninyo na galing doon sa BEIS for this school year. Okay. Now, for public elementary and public secondary schools, you are encouraged to rename your file. So, di ba, nakapag-download po kayo galing sa system, di ba? Then, in-accomplish ninyo, nag-enter kayo doon ng data, then, please rename the file. Ito po yung convention po na we are proposing to you and we are encouraging you to use this for the sake of the validators who will be validating the data. Tandaan po natin that there are many tables, boxes, and pages to the profile. So therefore, per program po, iba-iba po ang validator, hindi lang po isa. We are many now. Later, I will show to you who are these validators po, ano para kilala po ninyo. So before that, tatandaan po natin that it's important that you rename the file of your BEIS profile. Ano po ang gagamitin natin? So for public elementary school, GESP, all capital po ito, GESP 2021-2022 underscore the school ID underscore the school name. So that's for public LM. I repeat, GESP 2021-2022 underscore school ID underscore school name. Mapapansin nyo wala pong spaces dyan, dire-diretso po siya. Ano? The underscore serves as the space. Okay, so example, GESP 2021-2022 underscore the school ID which is 111710 underscore Ginobatan East CS. So that is the example. For public secondary, junior high school, kasi po for public schools na secondary, you need to download and accomplish and upload 2 profiles. There's a separate profile for junior high school. There's a separate profile for senior high school. For integrated schools, for San Agustin Integrated and Alamisog Integrated, you have to download, accomplish, and upload 3 profiles. Separate po ang public LM profile, separate ang junior high school profile, separate ang senior high school profile. So for the public secondary junior high school profiles, ang ating pong convention dyan ay GJHSP 2021-2022 underscore school ID underscore school name. Example, GJHSP 2021-2022 underscore 301855 underscore UAS Polytechnic School. Okay? So that's the example for government junior high school profile. So for public secondary senior high school, ito naman po ang ating convention sa pag-rename po ng ating mga files. GSHSP 2021-2022 underscore school ID underscore school name. Example, again, GSHSP 2021-2022 underscore 301855 underscore UAS Polytechnic School. Yan po ang example natin for public elementary, public junior, and public senior high school profiles. Sa pagre-rename po ng file, for private school and LUCs, sa LUC po, instead na PSP, gagawin niyo lang po ninyo ng LUC. Okay? Kasi magkaiba po ang template ng profile ng template for private and sa LUC. So sa LUCs po sa apat, sa Tiwi Community, UAS Community, San Jose Community, and Libon Community colleges, ito po ang gagawin natin. LUC 2021-2022 underscore school ID underscore school name. For private school, so it's PSP 2021-2022 underscore school ID underscore school name. So example, PSP 2021-2022 underscore 403564 underscore Bicol College. So yun po yung ating example sa pag-rename po ng inyo pong mga files sa ating BEIS. Okay po. So now, assuming na you've already successfully downloaded the template from the BEIS for this school year, you have successfully accomplished your templates, and you have successfully renamed your templates. So, ano na pong susunod na step? Validation na po. So, with that, may I present to you the schedule of the validation. So, this is stated in a number division memorandum dated April 28, 2022, entitled Conduct of SY2021-2022 BEIS Validation. Excuse me po. So, stated in the memorandum is the persons involved per data element and the division focal persons per programs po. So, nakalagay po dito. So, makikita natin siya later. But for now, the schedule of the validation would be, so, sa Friday po, nakaschedule na po ang Municipality of Bakakay. So, ginawa po namin ay by municipality po ito. Then, on Monday, Kamalig, Tuesday, May 17, Daraga, Wednesday, May 18, Ginubatan, May 19, Jovellar, May 20, Libon, May 23, Malilipot, May 24, Malinaw, May 25, Manito, May 26, Uwas, May 27, Piudoran, May 30, Pulangi, May 31, Rapu-Rapu, June 1, Santo Domingo, and June 2, Tiwi. Yung private schools po, hindi po siya kasama dito sa schedule kasi since nasa 61 schools lang po kayo, 61, 62. Tama po ba, Ma'am Eloise? As of today, actually, there are already 40 schools who have successfully uploaded in the system. So, ang gagawin po natin mamaya, papakita namin sa inyo kung saan po talaga dapat ninyo i-upload yung inyong profile for it to be validated. But don't worry because you can still re-upload in the system once na-validate po ni Ma'am Eloise po yung inyong template or profile. So, it doesn't matter if you have already uploaded your PSP. But we still have to have it validated po by our in-charge, Ma'am Maria Eloisa Arellano. So, she can do it. Actually, as of today, pwede na gawin. Kung pwede po, pwede din po na sundin niya din po itong by municipality. So, depende na po yan kay Ma'am Eloy sa private school. But for public schools, ito pong ipo-follow natin. So, makikita niyo po, hindi po kami nag-schedule ng weekends, ng Saturday, Sunday. Kasi, if there's a need po, may nakalimutan or hindi na-validate on that schedule, pwede din po kasi mag-overtime yung validators gawin Saturday, Sunday. Nakalagay din po kasi yan sa memo that they will be given either COC or overtime kung ano po ang applicable sa kanila. Okay po, so, but it is encouraged that on these dates, submit po kayo, makapag-upload po kayo. The earlier, the better nga po. So, for example, for the municipality of Bakakay, if you can upload your templates by Thursday, much better. Para sa 13, magbubukas na lang po yung validators. Okay? So, again, I repeat, this is the schedule of the validation. So, we are starting May 13 until June 2. Okay po? Now, sa profile po, alam na po natin that you cannot download the profile if you are not using the school head's account. So, dapat po tandaan natin na para makapag-download tayo, gagamitin natin ang school head's account at pupunta tayo sa BEIS. Hindi po dun sa may E, kundi dun po sa BEIS lang or sa Basic Education Information System. Okay? So, as mentioned, who are the validators? So, the division validators are, ito po yung copy nung memorandum. This is already signed, by the way, by Ma'am Samantela. It was released May 2, 2022 at 9:47 a.m. So this was already communicated to the schools. Posted na po ito sa FB page ng school heads. And this, I think, was already sent also by Ma'am Loy sa private schools. Okay po. So for iPad, for SPED, ang persons involved po ito si Ma'am Jean Baloloy, Sir Raymond Gerald Banzuela, and Ma'am Angeline Rosales. Meron pong additional na validators po sila na sinama, namely, Ma'am Doreen Mallorca. Later, ipapakita ko po yung additional validators kasi nagdagdag po. So, anyway, per original memo, this is the mother memo of our validation, dated April 28. So, ito po muna papakita ko. For SPED, Ma'am Jean Baloloy, Sir Raymond Gerald Banzuela, and Ma'am Angeline Rosales. For iPad, Madrasa, Ma'am Yernalyn Bueno, Ma'am Marites Balistoy, Ma'am Maria Cesare Barnuevo, Ma'am Romilyn Mago, Ma'am Arlene Hovellano, Ma'am Joanna Natividad. For DRRM, si Sir Alvin Cruz po, pero meron po siyang team. So mamaya papakita ko din po For teaching and non-teaching personal data or HR personal data, si Ma'am Evelyn Lim po. Ang in charge, ang team niya po kasama si Ma'am Annalisa De Jesus, Ma'am Maris Zuniga, advance happy birthday Ma'am Maris, and Ma'am Michelle Balmaceda. All pertaining to ICT. Ang lead po natin na validator ay si Ma'am Mary Jane Haushan, our ITO1. Together with her are her team, Maria Antoinette Cañada, RG Benavente, Marvin Buhat, and Ramilo Bacol. For MOE, ang in charge po si Ma'am Cherry Ohinal, and kasama niya po si Maria Cristina Bolaños and Denilyn Rances. All data pertaining to education facilities as well as ito po mga travel details, school location, si Engineer Andrew Ebio po, together with him, si Neil Harold Relyama, Vincent Garduque, Samuel Abichuela. As well as, kasama din po si Attorney Eliza Marie Incisa, kasama din po si Attorney Arnie Magdaong, and si John Marcos Cags. For data elements on school sports, ang in charge po dito ay si Sir Danilo Morillo, EPS, our sports coordinator, and together with him, si Miss Pia Marion Morillo. For SPG, all data elements pertaining to school government program and youth formation. Ito po ang in charge ay si Ma'am Silver Rose Nile Alicia, PDO1, and si Sir Eric Cañaveral, PDO1. Mamaya po ipapakita ko, pinaghatian po nila yung mga districts po. So, nakikita nyo later kung sino pong in charge sa district po ninyo in terms of the SPG and youth formation data elements. So, for teachers who receive training data, ang in charge po dito ang SEPSO HRTD, si Ma'am Claire Barcelona. With her, ang team po niya, kasama po si Sir Froilan Tena, Ma'am Judith Delian, Ma'am Ederlyn Morales, Sir Joel Tenedero, Ma'am Eileen Flores, Sir Jason Forte, Sir Sherwin J. Aguilar, and Sir Louis Lubigan. For LAC sessions, Division LAC focal person po ang in charge, si Ma'am Claire pa din po ito at saka si Sir Froilan Tena. All pertaining to action research po na data element, si Sir Nick Bio po, our SEPs for Planning and Research siya po ang in charge sa validation. Together with him, tutulong po si Sir Randy Aringo. For Child Protection and Career Guidance Program, si Ma'am Silver Rose Nile Alicia, PDO1, and si Sir Eric Cañaveral, PDO1. Sila po ang magti-take charge for this year. All data elements for private schools, si Ma'am Maria Eloise Arellano, the SEPs for SMNL. Pero meron pong data elements doon na dapat po i-validate din po ng IPED focal person, si Ma'am Mirnalyn Bueno and her team. So, nakikita nyo po, for the private schools, yung mga pangalan po sa baba, at the bottom of the table or of the sheet, makikita nyo kung sino po dapat ang pipirma. And meron po tayo identified na focal person or validator in charge for that particular table or box. So, please refer to this na lang po na ating memo for the names of such validator, of the identified validator po. Then for LUCs, ako po. So, ito po, this is the mother memo. So, let me go back to, ito po. Ito po yung additional validator. So, by the way, the validator is in charge only for the program area they are assigned. So, hindi po pwede, for example, si Sir Alvin po sa DRR, yung team niya po, DRRM data elements lang po ang titignan. Hindi po sila pwede mag-validate sa ICT. At hindi rin po sila pwede mag-validate sa HRTD. So kung sino po yung program owner for that particular program area, all data elements under that program, yun lang po ang kanilang titignan. Okay. Then, because they are the ones looking at that program, all data elements pertaining to that program, so they are responsible for all the data elements, okay? So, sino-sino po yung additional validators natin? Mention po natin kanina na nagdagdag po. Ito po. So, this is still unsigned. We're still waiting for SDS to sign this. But for advanced information of everybody, ito na po yung ating mga additional validators per program area. So, for SPED, ang additional po ay si Ma'am Doreen Mallorca, Ma'am Rhea Joyce Paga, Ma'am Emmeline Lucinario, Ma'am Nilda Ariate, and Ma'am Lian Baroma. For IPED, Ma'am Elma Losada, Ma'am Aubrey Michelle Imperial, Ma'am Imelda Climcosa, Ma'am Ena Dalde, Ma'am May Abigail Alipio, and Ma'am Frida Paula Abiada. For ICT coordinators, mamaya po, ipapakita natin madami po kasi sila, so separate sheet. For DRRM, for Bakakay, Paul Vincent Baselonia and Sir Eddie Batalla. Santo Domingo, Dan Balana, Edwin Balieta. Malilipot, Giovanni Bolaño, Sherwin Bonto, Malinao. Victorino Cuerdo, Michael Brigino. Tiwi, Howard Bonavente, Rowena Macariola. Rapu-Rapu, Louis Bon, Busing and Vincent Conde. Manito Salvacion Dapa, Joel Daen. Kamalig, Makel Arcos, Mary Shell Namia, Daraga Jason Forte, Juan Roberto Bolo, Kinubatan Jeric Ocayo, Jonathan Navera, Jovellar Lionel Lorica, Wilbert Perenya, Yudoran, Herald Lucena, Romel Magtaong, Uwas Jersil Relusor, Nilda Anzano, Pulangi, Jose Kiobe Jr., Rogin Manzanido, Libon, Ron Longasa, and Victor Barona. So that's for DRRM. So for health and nutrition, naka-separate sheet din po siya kasi madami din po sila. For data elements under youth formation, school government program, Supreme People's Government, and career guidance, ito po yung pagkahati po ni Ma'am Silver tsaka si Sir Eric. So si Ma'am Silver po ang in charge sa mga sumusunod na districts. Baka kay East, baka kay West. Kamalig South, Daraga South, Ginubatan West, Libon East, Malinaw, Manito, Uwas South, Pudaran West, Pulangi South, Rapu-Rapu West, and Tiwi. So yun po yung kanyang districts na siya po ang magbabalidate under Youth Formation, School Government Program, Supreme People's Government, and Career Guidance. Si Sir Eric naman po, same program po ito, same data elements. In charge lang po siya sa Bakakay South, Kamalig North, Daraga North, Ginubatan East, Jovellar, Libon West, Malilipot, Uwas North, Piduran East, Pulangi North, Rapu-Rapu East, and Santo Domingo. So kung kayo po ay taga Santo Domingo, ang magbabalidate po ng inyong data elements under the said programs mentioned ay si Sir Eric Canyaveral. Kung kayo naman po ay taga Rapu-Rapu West, si Ma'am Silver Rose Ulisha. Okay po. For child protection, ang magbabalidate po ay si Ma'am Silver Rose Nile Ulisha, Ma'am Mildred Ludovice, Ma'am Maria Janice Conanan, and Sir Rocky Rabino. For, ito po yung division, final validation. Ang team po ay si Sir Noli, si Ma'am Nod, si Sir Randy, ako po at si Sir Nick. So sila po ang sa division online validation na final validation na po ito. Kasi there are two types of validation po na mangyayari. Una po, the validation of the data elements per program by the focal person or by their designated validator. Pag na-validate na po lahat yan per program area, so ibig sabihin from table 1 down to the last table and from box 1 down to the last box, lahat po yan nakita na po, natignan na validate na ng validators. Pag fully validated na po ang buong template ninyo, that's the time na kami na po mag-validate. So, our task at the final division online validation is to ensure that all validators have validated or to ensure that all data ay na quality assure na po ng ating validators. Okay po? So, pagtapos na po yun, kami na po mag-final na mag-click po sa system. Hindi po si program validator ang mag-click sa system, kami po. Hindi po kami mag-click sa system hanggat meron pong validator na nagsasabi na hindi pa po sila nakaka-validate or may error pa po ang forward ng school. Okay po? Now, for data elements for open educational resources used as distance learning modality developed by teachers, if I'm not mistaken, table 26 po ito. This will be validated by Sir Edison Malyapre, EPS for LRMDS. Kung si Sir Edison po ay kukuha po ng team, we will issue another memorandum to this effect. So, for the time being, ito po, si Sir Edison po muna yung na-identify natin kasi he has yet to browse through the template for him to determine if he needs help on the validation in terms of the data element mentioned. And for private schools, katulong po ni Ma'am Maria Eloise Arellano, mag-assist po sa kanya sa validation ng private schools ay si Ma'am Ruby Joy Nas. So dalawa po sila take charge po sa pag-validate ng private school profiles. Okay po, so that's it. For, as mentioned, for the ICT team, validating team, ito po sila, madami-dami. So for Bakakay, ito po validators po, Sir Sherwin J. Aguilar from Bonga National High School, Ma'am Janelle Batalla, San Pablo National High School, Gay Basquinas, Bakakay East Central School, JP Nunez from Upper Bonga Elementary School, and Sir Celso Vera. So wala pong naka-identify na school. So probably, ito, Bakakay East, West, South. For Kamalig, Nerissa Loveres from Pariaan National High School, Sir Michael Arcos from Miti Elementary School, John Martin Loma, Kamalig National High School, Chester Ribar, Kamalig South Central School. For Daraga, Liceo Secretario, Daraga National High School, Jason Forte, Kilikao Elementary School, Jemar Nocus, Anislag National High School, Mark Christian Miliena, Baskaran Elementary School. For Ginubatan, from Worms, Ma'am Karen Legson, Maria Teresa Rebusquillo from JEX, Rene Sakayan from Lower Binugsakan National High School, Gladys Hovellana from Binugsakan Elementary School. For Jovellar, Gremelin Cabanban, Jovellar National High School, Amy Bagangan, Del Rosario Elementary School. For Libon, Maricon Rempillo from Libon Agro-Industrial High School, Sir Ron Longasa, Lemuel Rempillo from Buga National High School, Jaime Registrado from Sagrada Familia Elementary School. For Malilipot, Ann Beatriz Belisario, San Jose National High School, and Ma'am Alma Bardot. For Malinaw, Alec Jordan Buencamino, Malinaw National High School, Cynthia Cardano, Honok Elementary School, Angeli Rose Dapa, Manito National High School, Andrea Maydahak from Manito Central School. For UAS, Delphine John Labore from Saba National High School, Loida Rimonte from Del Rosario ES, Myla Manuel, Balogo National High School, Imelda Rico or Maria Charmaine Barba from UAS South Central School, Eric Almazar, Alabang Puro National High School. So this is for Puduran. Sheena Daito, Puduran East Central School, and Ma'am Mary Jane Papica, Puduran West Central School. For Pulangi, Leia Jessica Venus from PGCHS, and Maricel Sabucor from Alnay ES. Wilsie Mendoza from Atacon National High School, Bernardo Guevara from Jr. from Pulangi South Central School. For Rapo-Rapo, Christine Joy Clerigo, Rapo-Rapo National High School, Noeson Texon from Karugkog ES, Sherlyn Bichayda from Villahermosa National High School, Lalani Bichayda from Kalanaga ES. For Santo Domingo, Christian Besin, San Fernando National High School, Alvin Gregorio from Santo Domingo Central School, and for Tiwi, Domingo Daculio Jr. from Naga National High School, and Lisel Dacuno from Tiwi Central School. For oral health, yung ating oral health po na data element sa profile, GESP, Government Elementary, Government Junior, and Government Senior School Profiles, ang dentist in charge po, ito po Dr. Angelo Millena, in charge po siya sa Libon East, Puduran West, and Daraga South. Dr. Angelique Vita Secretario, in charge for Daraga North, Santo Domingo, Malilipot, and Pulangi North. Dr. Judy Bagajong, in charge of Malinaw, Tiwi, Kamalig North, Kamalig South, and Uwas South. Dr. Juan Basilia, in charge of Pulangi South, Ginubatan East, Ginubatan West, and Jovellar. Dr. Ricardo Enciso, in charge of Rapo-Rapo East and West, Manito, and Uwas North. And Dr. Juba Garcia, in charge of Bakakay East, Bakakay West, and Bakakay South, and Libon West. So that's for oral health. And last but not the least, the health and nutrition validators. So ito po yung assignment nila. By district din po sila. So for Tiwid District, ang in charge po na nurses na mag-validate ay Maria Bella Imperio and Nurse Sheila Barameda. For Malinaw, Ray Bufete. Malilipot, Elsa Bacol. Bakakay East, Agnes Boneo. Bakakay West, Domingo Obang. Bakakay South, JP Hamon. Rapo-Rapo East, Jose Diaz Jr., Rapo-Rapo West, Alvin Razon, Santo Domingo, Noemi Hamon, Manito, Joanna Marie Manlangit, Daraga North, Cynthia Aslor, Daraga South, Edwin Hisita, Kamalig North, Jovel Rigondola, and Andrew Joel Ricacho, Kamalig South, Gil Ortino, Jovellar, Geraldine Miliano, Kinubatan East, Eloise Marie Vasquez, Kinubatan West, Glenn Ante, Puduran East, Romo Lulupo, Puduran West, Romel Llegado, UAS North, Jessa Janice Vasquez and Gerard Peter Carion, UAS South, Janeth Ribancos, Libon East, Nancy Ingua, Libon West, Glenalyn Goyena and Maria Teresa Nantes, Pulangi North, Jose Corubin Melia, and Pulangi South, Rosalie Berha. So that's for LM, elementary po yun. For secondary nurses, for 1st Congressional District, ang assigned po na validator natin na nurses, Alin Luneza and May Ani Razon. 2nd Congressional District, Talia Leonor Kai and Javin Balweta and June Villavicencio. For 3rd Congressional District, Charmaine Maravillas, Sherry Ann Buisa, and Merly Ann Casile. So yan po lahat-lahat ang ating validators for this year's School year 2021-2022 BEIS validation. Okay, so let me go back to my presentation. Okay, so now we go to the actual validation, how it will be done. So for most of you, siguro po aware na kayo, last year we already done this. We finished with the validation na online po tayo. So doon po sa mga baguhan, siguro you're wondering, paano po gagawin ang validation na hindi po tayo magkikita-kita? And there's no actual paper or hard copy that you will be submitting to us. Wala po munang hard copy. Lahat po muna tayo online. Lahat po muna soft. So, paano po natin ito gagawin? Okay. So, here's the guide for the online division BIS validation for school year 2021-2022. Okay. Una po sa lahat, sabi nga po namin, please use the DepEd email of the school. Sa private schools po, you are encouraged to use the depedalbay.com email address provided to you. Pero later po, towards the end of my discussion, meron pong separate presentation po entirely for private school kasi iba po ang link po ninyo. I repeat, for private schools, we have a separate link for you. Hindi po itong papakita ko muna. So, relax po muna yung private schools natin. Later, we will be discussing the instruction or the procedures for the private schools, how to upload, and how the validation will proceed. So, public schools po muna tayo. So, I repeat, this is for all public elementary and secondary schools. Okay. First is, you go to tinyurl.com/SY2021-2022 BEIS Albay. All caps po ito. BEIS Albay. Yan po yung link na pupuntahan ninyo. Then, mabubuksan nyo lang po ito kung gagamitin po ninyo ang DepEd email address ng school. Okay po. Pag ginamit nyo po ay yahoo.com, hindi po talaga. Okay? And also, please do not use your personal DepEd email. Yung may pangalan, kunwari ako, karin.dominguez@deped.gov.ph, wag po yun. Because hindi po ikaw ang school. So we are not validating you, we are validating the school. That's why we need the school ID, yung email address po ng school, yung school ID at deped.gov.ph. Okay po? Paki-picturean po ito para po hindi makalimutan. Kasi mamaya sigurado niya may magpapadala ng email sa email ko at gamit ay yung DepEd email nila. Wala pong magsisend sa email ko. Okay po? Please go to the link provided. Yan po. tinyurl.com/SY2021-2022 BEIS Albay for all public elementary and public secondary schools using your DepEd school's DepEd email address. Okay po? Then, after that, so ito, linagay ko lang po dito yung link ulit ng mas malaki. Parehas lang po yan yung kaninang sinabi ko. Ano po? So, this is for public schools. So, for private schools, ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina, we have a separate link for you. Private schools and LUCs. So, I repeat, for private schools and LUCs, you go to tinyurl.com/ small letter po yung BEIS Albay. Capital lang po yung A. Albay SY2021-2022. So, for private schools, you have to access this link. Okay po. Malinaw po tayo dito. So, now, again, this is the instruction for public schools po. Parehas pala pati sa private, sorry. Upload the accomplished government, elementary, secondary, private school profile or LUC profile template to the Google Drive folder na binigay po namin kanina. Pero po, pag public schools, pag binuksan nyo po yung link kanina, makikita nyo po doon ay merong folder na po per municipality. So, kailangan po na naka-rename na yung file nyo. Diba kanina pinakita ko how to rename your file. Tapos, ipapasok nyo po yung file nyo doon sa municipality kung saan po kayo kasama yung school. Saan po located yung school na municipality. Doon nyo po ipapasok sa Google Drive. Okay? Mamaya po, don't worry, mamaya i-demonstrate po namin with Ma'am Nods kung paano po ito gagawin. So ito po, kunwari, so when you access the said link, kung public school ka po, ito po yung makikita mo. Tinanggal na po yan na may private school dyan na folder, wala na po yan kasi naka-separate link na po yung private school. So if you open said link for public schools, you will see there elementary, secondary, and yung may checklist. So pupunta kayo kunwari sa elementary, pag click nyo, makikita nyo po ay by municipality po yan. By municipality o by district? By district. Ginawa na nga po mas maliliit. So instead of municipality, by district na. So kung kayo ay taga Bakakay South, ipapasok nyo sa Bakakay South. Kung kayo ay taga Daraga North, sa Daraga North na ipapasok. Kung Jovellar, Jovellar din po. So yan. So again, ito po yung pag-rename po ito po yung examples sa public schools and private schools. Ang LUC po, papalitan nyo lang po ng LUC instead of PSP. Okay? So, pag na-upload nyo na po doon sa drive, nandun na siya. Sige. After po noon, si validator naman po ang mag-access noon. Kasi all validators po, from the validators po pala, this afternoon, we will have a meeting po, please be back sa GC natin, IFB group. Sa FB group natin, we will be having a meeting, especially for those new validators po, So, for the validators, kayo na po ang magko-comment doon. Titignan nyo na from table 1 hanggang the last table. Iisa-isahin nyo na po, especially doon sa naka-assign sa inyong program or data element. Iisa-isahin nyo na po yung cells nila, kung tama po ba yung nakalagay nilang number. Kung 0 ba dapat nakalagay doon o dapat ay may figure doon. Kung may number, kung hinihingi ay numeric na data, titignan nyo tama ba. Baka ang nakalagay doon, ang question ay teachers, number of teachers. Ang nailagay niya ay in thousands, may peso sign. So mali yon. So ang trabaho po ni validator ngayon is to ensure that the data entered corresponds to the ito po table. Kung kailangan po number. Kung kailangan text. Baka po kasi sumobra yung lagay natin or baka naman mali yung nailagay natin. So, isa po yun sa mga lookout ng validator. So, now, once makita na to ni validator, the schools now will have to wait for the validator's comments or recommendations on the uploaded school profile template. Paano nyo malalaman kung nag-comment si validator? Paano nyo malalaman kung may mali doon sa in-upload ninyo? Magkaka-receive po kayo ng notification sa DepEd email po ninyo na si validator, kunwari ako nag-validate. Magpa-pop up doon, yung aking username, pangalan, yung aking DepEd email, lalabas doon na meron na akong comment doon sa inyong in-upload na template. Okay, so you will be notified and be prompted that you need to do something about your profile. Okay, so the BEIS coordinators or the school heads can communicate to the validators in the comment box. So makikita nyo doon, you can reply to the comment of the validator. Mamaya papakita namin. So kunwari ito, for example, this is the uploaded government elementary school profile. Tapos may nakita si Ma'am Nodes dito na may error sa cell na ito, yung naka-yellow pong cell. This one, itong cell number O24. This is O, OP, and number 24. For this cell, there should be a number. For example, sa SPED ito, kunwari si Ma'am Nodes ay SPED validator. Alam niya na meron kayong autism spectrum disorder na bata. So, dapat may entry dyan. Kaya niya linagyan ng comment. Maglalagay si Ma'am Nodes dyan na this should not be blank. Kung sakali naman po na meron talaga kayo. Pero kung wala naman kayo, naglagay kayo dyan ng 1, probably ang comment dyan ng validator, this should be 0. Or this should be blank. Okay? So after mag-comment ni Ma'am Nodes, itong comments niya, makikita niyo po yan sa email ninyo. Or you will see dito sa comments dito, ma-view niyo yung comments si validator dito sa uploaded ninyo, dyan sa upper right portion na comments, i-click nyo po yan, lalabas dyan yung comments, tsaka pwede kayo dyan mag-reply sa comments nila. So, this is where you will communicate now with the validator of this particular table only. Dito sa data element na may error. Sa ibang tables, lalabas din dyan. Pag click nyo yung table 2, table 3, kung may comment sila, lalabas din po dyan. And also, if there is a comment dito sa sheets na to sa baba, ng my table number, may makikita kayong number na naka-highlight para naka-blacken. That means na merong comment dyan. Okay po. So, sabi ko nga, you will be notified in your DepEd email kung meron pong comment sa inyo. So, here is an example of the email notification na na-receive po ni Sir Noli, for example. So, Noli Licasio replied to a comment in the following document. So, ito po yung in-upload ninyo na template. Ayan po yung comments na may nag-comment si Ma'am Nods. Please input data. Tapos, pwede po mag-reply dyan. Ano po? Then, i-click nyo po itong Google Sheet na to. Makikita nyo din po doon. Pinakita namin kanina dito sa comments dito sa upper right. You can click that or direkta po doon mismo sa sheet kung identified po ninyo o alam ninyo kung saan yung may problema. Okay? So these are the ways to know and to communicate with the validators. Okay? So yan, nakikita nyo kung may problema. So suggested reversions in your data must be effected on the template uploaded in the Google Drive. So pag sinabi ko namin na this must be blank or this must be zero, so kunwari, kinumply nyo na, tinanggalan nyo ng data or linagyan nyo ng zero, once revisions were effected in the Google Sheet, schools must reply complied. So mag-reply kayo dun sa comment ni validator na na-comply nyo, na-complied. Ito lang po isusulat nyo ha. Kaya po naka-yellow siya. Kapag in-effect nyo na po yung corrections or changes na pinapagawa ni validator doon sa specific cell or table, maglalagay po kayo sa comments ng complied. Para alam po ni validator, babalikan niya yun. Titignan niya kung talagang pinalitan ninyo. Okay? Hanggat hindi po kayo nagsasabi ng complied, wala po kayong hihintayin na next na ni validator. Kasi akala ni validator, hanggang ngayon, hindi nyo pa ginagawa yung sinasuggest niya. So it's important that you reply complied and do that, effect that doon po sa cell o sa table o sa box na necessitating such revision or changes, corrections. Ano po? So yan po. Yan. Then after po, na okay na, sa lahat ng validators dumaan na, nakita po ng validator ng SPED, ng IPED, ng DRR, ng ICT, ng personnel, ng HRTD, lahat ng involved, nakita nila na tama lahat ng data na ipinasok po ninyo. If the validator approves the veracity of the data corresponding his or her program, she will comment validated. Doon na po sa may pangalan niya sa baba. Magko-comment po siya kasi pwede po yan right-click, add comment. Maglalagay po si validator dyan na word na validated, meaning to say accurate na quality assure niya na po itong table na ito na naka-assign sa kanya. Okay? Kasi kanya-kanya po na validator ito sa baba ng template, diba? Iba-iba ang in-charge. In-charge sa SPED, sa IPED, sa HRTD, sa LAC, sa LRMDS, sa ICT, sa DRR, sa sports. So, kung sino po yung validator na naka-assign doon sa data element na yun for that particular school or district kung saan si school located, siya po ang obligado maglagay po dyan ng validated dyan po sa comment sa may pangalan niya. Okay, after all, the validators have checked and validated the template, school must download. Okay, ulitin natin. Kapag nakita nyo na lahat na ng validators at may pangalan nila, nag-comment sila na validated, the schools must download their profiles from the Google Drive and upload it in the BEIS site. Okay? So, we upload the schools na hindi pa po nag-upload sa system, na naghihintay po ng validation. Meron pong dalawang public schools na siguro po na-excite masyado at nakapag-upload na po sa system. No worries po, walang problema. Kasi po, you can upload as many times possible. Wala pong problema. The last uploaded template or profile will be the one considered final until such time po na mag-close po si system. Okay? So, doon po sa 554 na naghahantay po ng procedure for the validation, ito na po. So, by the time that the validation ng per data element tapos na quality assured na ng program owner o ng validator, na accurate, na tama ang data, Saka lang po kayo magda-download ng profile na yon na nandun sa Google Drive na in-upload ninyo, na pinag-validate po ng mga validators, diba? So, i-download nyo po ulit yun at sa kanya lang po siya i-upload sa BEIS website. Kasi ito po ay Google Drive. Everything is happening in the Google Drive. The exchange of the comments and replies, the revisions and all that, this is all happening in the Google Drive. This is not happening in the system. Okay? So once quality assured na ng lahat ng validators, naglagay na si validator ng word validated doon sa pangalan niya, nag-comment, hindi po tinanggal yung pangalan, but nag-insert ng comment na ang word ay validated, yung pong titignan namin. Pag okay na po yan, that's the time that you can download that profile from the Google Drive and upload that in the BEIS site. Okay po? So ito po, paano po bang pag-download natin? So ito po, kunwari makikita nyo sa screen ay yung Google Sheet ng inyong profile. Punta po kayo sa file. Hanapin nyo po si download. Click nyo po yan. Diyan sa may arrow, lalabas po dyan may mga options. So you're going to download it as Excel file, as Microsoft Excel. So pag click nyo po si Microsoft Excel, if you're using Google Chrome, automatic po siya magda-download sa lower left portion of your screen or monitor, magda-download na po siya. And because you already renamed your file, gamit po yung ating convention na pinakita kanina, no need to rename them again. Okay? So, okay na po yan. Now, ano nang gagawin? Na-download na natin from the Google Drive. You are ready to upload it back. You are ready to upload it into the system. Hindi pala back. Upload it into the system. So, punta kayo doon sa BEIS using the Schoolheads account. Then, hanapin natin yung upload. Ito kasi, ang makikita nyo dyan ay dashboard. Katabi po ng dashboard ang the upload button. Click po natin yung upload. Then, click po natin yung green school profile. Pag click po natin itong green, maglalabas po ng yung kung saan natin hahanapin. Since nasa download nyo yan, ginownload nyo diba from the Google Drive, so hanapin nyo po sa download. Then, hanapin yung file, then click upload now. Ito pong purple dito sa baba, upload now. At kung wala pong problema, walang error, automatic po dapat maglalagay dyan na successful po ang inyong pag-upload. Otherwise, if there are errors there, sasabihin na po niya, may notification po dyan sa baba na lalabas. Kung ano yung specific error po na nagawa po ninyo, lalabas po dyan sa baba. Okay po? Okay? So, ito po. Dun po sa, for example, successful na tayo nakapag-upload doon sa ating Google Drive. Di po ba? Naipasok natin sa elementary na folder, then sa specific na folder ng district. Paano nyo malaman kung ano na yung status ng inyo pong template? Di ba madaming data elements, madaming validators. So, you can actually view ano na pong status ng inyo pong BEIS, ang validation ng inyong BEIS per program. So if you will go to the site po, to the drive, makikita nyo po dyan yung Google Sheet na BEIS Checklist 2022. BEIS Checklist 2022. Pag click nyo po yan, makikita nyo po itong nasa right portion. Ito po nakalagay na BEIS Checklist 2022. You will see there all schools po, and then yung status po ng inyo pong validation po ng inyong BEIS profile. So, you can see here the status kung, for example, sa SPED, validated na kayo, sa legal, pending pa din kayo, sa DRRMI, for compliance, kasi may kailangan kayo i-submit. Meron po dyan na options po kasing pipindutin si validator. Ang nakalagay dyan ay validated, pending, for compliance, and not validated. Tatlo lang ba yun, Ma'am Nods? Na options na pipindutin ni validator. Basta meron po dyan, makikita nyo dyan, yung status po ng per program owner. So pag nakita nyo po lahat na, yan buong straight po na yan, katampad po ng pangalan ng school nyo, straight yan. Lahat na yung nakalagay, validated, 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 validated. So expect ninyo po na sa system, kami po, i-click na rin po namin yung validated doon po sa BEIS. Hanggat hindi pa po nila nababalidate, hindi rin po namin i-click po yun. Ano po? So, please do follow the steps mentioned or discussed just now para po maging smooth po ang ating SY2021-2022 validation. So that's about it for public, elementary, and secondary school profiles. Okay. For private schools, ito nga po. So you have to rename your PSP or LUC profile as to the convention given. Yan po, PSP or LUC 2021-2022 _ school ID _ school name. Then you have to access the Google Form link. Meron pong link na binigay kanina. So, paka-access niyo po dun sa Google Form link, so you have to accomplish the Google Form. And sa last part, you need to upload the profile, the actual profile, which you have renamed po, di ba? Yung Excel, rename nyo na. Then, si Ma'am Lois po will comment on the cells or tables. Same po yung kaninang diniscuss ko. So, si Ma'am Lois po makikita nyo dyan, mostly na magko-comment. But as I mentioned earlier, there are other validators also na involved po sa private school tsaka sa LUC. For example, yung sa iPad. Okay po. So, magko-comment po sila sa cells and then you will receive a notification dun po sa email address na ginamit nyo sa pag-upload. Pero po, it is recommended that or you are encouraged to use the DepEdAlbay.com email address that was provided to you po ni Ma'am Jane. Di po ba? Meron kayo ata yung parang school ID at DepEdAlbay.com. If I'm not mistaken, ano po, Ma'am Jane, can you please attest to it or correct mo po ako if I'm wrong, if it's not the correct DepEd Albay email address of the private schools. But as far as I know, you were all given po or assigned a DepEd email address na ang last po ay DepEdAlbay.com. So, doon po kayo magbubukas at yun din po sana ang gamitin ninyo pag-upload po ng inyo pong profile doon po sa link na binigay ko po kanina. Okay po? So, kung turn over ko na po muna for the demonstration kay Ms. Nods to properly guide us po sa procedure kung paano po natin ito gagawin. Okay po? Then after the demonstration, open forum na po tayo. For private school, since nasa separate po sila link, so hindi po sila dito sa StreamYard actually. So nasa Google link po sila, Google Meet. The questions that you have or queries or clarifications, please type them in the in-call messages and Sir Nolly will forward it to me sa messenger po so I can read your concerns po, and also answer them. And then, sa public schools po na who are tuned in now, dun po sa ating sa FB, please type in your comments po. Ma'am Nods, for the demonstration, it's all yours.
Good morning, everyone. Naririnig po ako.
Yes po, loud and clear.
I-share ko po yung yung screen.
Sige po, Miss Nod. Kaya mo yan. Share screen. Share screen. Oo.
Yes, yan.
Share.
Na-reset ko na po isa.
Hanap mo na.
Hello po. Na-reset ko na po. Reset ko na po. Okay sa inyo, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Di bali po, magde-demo po tayo ng process ng BEIS validation na discuss po ni Ma'am Ting kanina po. Di bali po, mag-start po tayo sa renaming po ng profile, school profile po. Di bali, ang gagamitin ko po yung junior high school profile. First, i-rename po natin. Di bali, ang gagamitin ko po yung UAS. Ito po. Topic ko na lang po ito. Bali, after po natin marining, di bali assume po natin na ito pong form na po to ay accomplished na po at ready na po for validation. So, punta na po tayo sa Google Drive. Punta po tayo sa sa public secondary po. Junior high school po ang gagamitin po natin. Punta tayo ng tab. Paste ko na lang po. Ito po. tinyurl.com/SY2021-2022 BEIS Albay. Enter po tayo. Di bali po, ito po ang laman ng ating Google Drive. Di bali po, ang i-upload po natin na template is junior high school profile. Open po natin tong public secondary, junior high school, UAS, kasi po UAS Polytechnic ang ginamit ko po sa demo. Click po natin ito, file, upload. Nasa desktop po yung file. Actually, pwede ko naman i-drag na lang. Drag ko na lang po. Tama ba? Ay, mali. Senior high school. Ito. Rename ko po. Drag ko na lang po. Yan. Di bali po naka-upload na po tayo sa Drive. Open po. Once po naka-upload po tayo sa Drive, click po natin tong file na tab. Tapos, click po natin tong Save as Google Sheets. Siguraduhin po lang natin na ang naka-open po ang DepEd, school DepEd email po natin sa pag-upload ng file. Tapos, close na po natin to kasi po itong format, naka-Excel, di ba, ginawa na po natin siyang Google Sheet. Okay na po. Yan. Ito po, naka-share na po ito sa mga validators. Yan po. Yung mga additional po na validators, i-add ko na lang po mamaya. Yan po, ready na po siya for validation. Tapos, kung may comments man po yung mga validators, example po, dito, i-assume po natin na na-accomplish na po ito. Sorry, ito, delete ko lang. Ito ang buksan natin. Nata. Sir Nolly, nag-upload ka na po. Opo. Upload ka po. Ang bubuksan ko po yung na-upload. Di bali, delete ko po to para hindi po tayo malito. Hintayin po natin na mag-upload po si Sir Nolly. Yung from OWAS po. Sige, rinig ko na lang. Junior high school. Naka-upload po. Wala pa. Junior high school. Ayan. I-rename ko lang po. Nag-upload po tayo ulit. Di bale, i-save as, okay na po, naka-Google Sheet na siya. Kasi po, pag hindi natin to save as Google Sheet, may mga features po na hindi natin ma-access. Proceed tayo sa mga comments ng validators. For example, dito po. Sa tables 7 to 8, maglagay po tayo ng comment. Kung ito po ang may revisions ang validator, dito po mismo sa link na to, maglalagay ng comment ang validators. Ito po. For example, please. Ano ba ang lalagay? Please put number here. Please enter a number. A number, not a text. Minsan nagkakamali yung school. Not a text. Okay. Pwede na po mag-reply. Mag-reply po si Sir Nolly. Assuming na text ang na-type mo, letter. Di ba, palitan mo ng number. Lagyan mo. 1. Day pa. Table 7 to 8. Yan, ito po. Kotmon. Pumasok si Kotmon. Yan. Di bali po, isa pa po, para malaman nyo na may mga comments. Pag dito po, sa mga tab, pag may nakita po kayong number, ibig sabihin po, may mga comments po. Ito po, nag-comment. Tapos, reply ka po ng complied. Yung school. Tapos yung magic word na complied. Okay na po. Kasi po yung issue po yung last year, may suggestion po yung o may for revisions po yung validator. Nag-reply po yung school na okay na. Hindi po ma-identify ng validator kung na-revise na po ba o naayos niya yung data sa sheet niya po. Assuming po na okay na po tong sheet, pwede na po ma-download ng school. Yan. Ito po. Assuming po na okay na po yung sheet, pwede na po ma-download. Pero dapat po, kada table po, magko-comment po yung validator sa name po nila na validated. Yan po. Yung program owner po mismo. Ito po. Ang program owner po si Ma'am Lim. Dito po, maglalagay po siya ng comment na validated. Dito pa po. Yan. Kada program owner po. Yan. Assuming po si Ma'am Claire, okay na po sa kanya na check niya na po, comment po siya ng validated. Kada tab po yan, ito po. Ito po. Pag lahat po yan na sheet or tab, may comment na po ng mga program owners na validated, pwede nyo na po ma-download, pwede nyo na po i-download yung sheet nyo po para po ma-upload naman po sa system. Hindi na download. Bakit ayaw ma-download?
Download? Excel.
Mahina ang internet. Kaya ayaw ma-download.
Wala, hindi pumapasok. Para sa downloads.
Wala. Uh-huh.
Downloads.
Wala.
Baka. Maluyang internet yun.
Ano po, mahina po ang internet namin dito. Kaya hindi po siya na-download. Di bale, iyon po. Pag lahat po siya, may mga comment na ng validators na validated sa name po nila. Pwede nyo na po ma-download. Assuming po, na-download na natin yung sheet. Ito po. Punta na tayo sa system. Di bale, ang gagamitin po natin yung school head account. So, hiramin muna po natin yung account ng UWAS, ng OPS. Nagpapa-update. Punta po tayo sa dito po, sa BEIS, sa Basic Education Information System na tab. Click po natin tong upload. Yan. Click po natin tong school profile. Ito na po yun. Click natin. I-upload na natin. Sorry, no. Okay, pwede na. Sige po. Sample lang. Yan. Ito na po. Tapos, click po natin tong upload now. Okay. 413 request hindi too large. Try natin. Ito, try natin to. Yan, may errors.
Government junior, di ba?
Di bali sample lang po. Ito, try natin ito. Nag-error kasi hindi pa hindi pa accomplish yung template.
Invalid school ID, maling school ID. Basta mo ng error sa baba. Invalid school ID. So, ibig sabihin, walang school ID. Ayan, no?
Di bali, pag may errors po yung template, makikita naman po natin yung mga errors. Ito po yun.
Pero, ano na nga yun, advance na nga yun, kasi pinag-uuro na, validation pa sa Google Drive, i-uploading na sa system.
Po. Di bali, another topic na po to. Ito na po yung last. na step. Pero balik po tayo doon sa validation. Okay na po. Sana nasundan niyo po. Balik na po tayo kay Ma'am T. Kasi magabato na siya. Hello, Ma'am Jane. Hello, Ma'am Jane. Si Ma'am Ting na po. Thank you po.
Hello po. Magandang umaga po ulit. Okay po. So, today, na-discuss na po natin how the validation will proceed for this school year po. So, who are the validators? What is the timeline? When it will start? When it will finish? Sino po ang mga in charge sa bawat programs, bawat data elements, at saka po kung ano po dapat natin gawin. Okay po. So, we would just like to correct something. So, we found out just now, kaya nag-error po yung pag-upload kanina ni Ma'am Nods because the file was already very large. Meaning to say, it cannot have comments in the template. So that's why she was having difficulty in uploading the same template that was used for the validation. So, ito pang gagawin natin, to avoid this, because ito na napo-foresee na namin that we will be experiencing the same problem as last year, because this happened last year also. So, we are encouraging you to have two files. Okay, two files with the same file name, pero yung isa po, lalagyan nyo lang ng final sa dulo. Meaning to say, once the validation is finished at the level of the validators, nakalagay na po sa baba ng pangalan nila na validated all data elements for all programs. You are going to effect said changes, said recommendations in another file na may nakalagay po na final. Okay. Please do not upload in the system, in the BEIS, the one that was used for the validation to avoid experiencing such error. Pinakita kanina ni Ma'am Nods na nag-error, nagpo-403 because the file was too large. So, to avoid this, so we're asking the help of the ICT team, ni Ma'am Jane. So, the ICT per district or municipality that we have today or are here with us today, listening or watching us, we are encouraging you po to assist the schools po in your district. So, reiterate lang po namin, please do have another file wherein you will effect the corrections and revisions after the validation is finished at the level of the validators po of the programs. So meaning to say, from table 1 to the last table, kapag po lahat na validated at nakalagay na pangalan dyan, i-value po, i-copy, hindi copy, i-effect yung recommendations na yun on another file, okay, of your profile that you will use to upload in the BEIS itself. Kasi if you're going to upload the same template used in the validation, hindi po tatanggapin ni system. Ang i-reflect niya po dyan ay error because the file is too large. So, sana po nakuha po natin ito, and that's why we're asking the assistance of the ICT team na tulungan po kung hindi po masyado naintindihan please do help them, especially those challenged technologically, especially those na nakakalimutan po palagi yung mga passwords, username, passwords nila. Please do help them kasi at this point, kailangan po alam na natin by heart ang ating username and password. At the same time, gumagana, ginagamit, existing ang ating school DepEd email address. Hindi po dapat nakalimutan ang password. Dapat po ginagamit natin siya regularly. And also, dapat po, marunong na po tayo mag-upload, download sa Google Drive at sa system. So, kung sakali pong hindi, that's why we are asking the assistance of our IT experts in the districts or municipalities. So, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. So, it's time now for our open forum po. So, kung may mga katanungan, may mga clarifications. By the way, I have just uploaded in the link. Sa public schools po ito, I have uploaded in the link given kanina kung saan po kayo mag-upload. Nandun po ay may BEIS validation guide na folder. If you open it, you will see the presentations, the 2 presentations na pinakita ko po kanina, including the memo, yung original, yung mother memo po ng ating validation dated April 28, and yung isa po yung addendum na for signature po ni SDS. SDS is not here yet because nandun pa nga po sila sa provincial canvassing. So that's why hindi pa po napipirmahan pero nandun na po siya sa table ni SDS po. So that's why makikita nyo po doon sa memo na una, original signed kasi po nasa akin yung may pirma ni Ma'am Norma. Ayan po, nakikita nyo, pirmado, release po siya. This was actually posted already in the FB page of the School Heads Group. But for those nga na hindi naman member doon sa page na yun, syempre hindi nila makita. That's why I sent, yung original soft copy po nito ay nandun po sa ating Google Drive. Kaya nakalagay po doon ay original sign kasi nasa akin po yung original. But this one, the addendum indicating yung mga additional validators natin per program area, this one po is still for signature. Kaya nakalagay din po doon sa Google Drive ay nakalagay po sa baba na pangalan ni Ma'am Norma ay for signature. So anyway, so we provided you with that para po guided kayo kung sino-sino po ang mag-validate, kung kanino nyo po i-expect na mag-validate or sino-sino po i-expect nyo mag-validate ng inyong profile per program area or per data element. Okay po? So let's now read some of the questions or comments if you have any or clarifications. Karamihan po dito ay good morning. Ayan, may nag-comment. May nagtatanong na. Yes po, too large po last year ang reason kaya po nag-error Ma'am Ting. Okay, so that's why we're trying to correct it now. So we encourage you to have a separate file that will be used for the uploading. Please do not upload the file that was used for the validation kasi po that is the reason why, one of the reasons why we had a problem last year kasi file was too large. Okay, so we now go to Sir Alwin. Okay, Alvin Gregorio, good AM po. May I suggest po to assign somebody for each district to double check if the file to be uploaded is directly similar exact copy of the validated form. Okay, so ito po ay suggest somebody to assign. Okay, so ganito po kasi. Meron ba tayong BEIS coordinators po So we are asking the assistance of the BEIS coordinators to do that. Kasi nga meron po baga tayong school validating team. Yung pang unang per DepEd order number 27, if you have a copy of the said DepEd order, I am encouraging you to download this. There is a DepEd order po dated September 20, 2019. if I'm not mistaken, diniscuss din po ito pahapyaw ni Sir Nick during the orientation po. This is still the same DepEd order that we are using kasi hindi pa po siya nababago, hindi pa napapalitan. So therefore, hanggat po hindi pa po ito napapalitan, this is still in effect. Although 2019 po ang date nito kasi nakalagay po dito ay guidelines on the yearly collection of data / information requirements and validation processes. The first step here actually in the validation sa school po ay, let me read to you. Allow me to read to you pala. Wait lang po. Number 2, data validation. To ensure the accuracy and quality of data reported by schools in the LIS and BEIS from school level to regional level, a validating team will be organized with the corresponding composition and responsibilities. So, ang una po dyan ay may school level validating team po tayo, may SVT na tinatawag. So, sila po mag-ensure na kung ano man po ang nakalagay doon sa recommendations, comments, suggestions ni validator ay i-reflect nila doon. Okay? Sila po mag-i-ensure. So, innate po dapat sa atin ang pag-quality assure ng ating data. Okay po. Kasi sa planning and research, alam niyo po, 3 lang po kami. May import kaming 2, 5 lang po kami. Hindi po namin kakayanin yan to look after the 556 public elementary secondary schools and the private schools pa po. So, ilan po lahat tayo ngayon? We are 615 schools all in all. So, kung isa-isayin po natin, naabutin tayo ng siyam-siyam. And take note, we're still validating NSBI as of the moment as we speak. At the same time, LIS will be closing by June, last week of June. So, before po maghalo-halo at bali-baliktad ang mga mundo natin because may checking of school forms po tayo by this time, by June. So, gusto po natin, everything will be as scheduled po, Matapos na natin yung NSBI by next week, so we can start the validation properly for the BEIS. And before mag-end po ang school year ng 2020-2021, yung LIS po natin, maayos din natin yung mga transferees. So, that is why we cannot, physically impossible po sa amin na titignan pa namin isa-isa. That's why we are banking on the school validating team to see to it na ang isasubmit po natin, i-upload natin sa system, ay yung pong data na pinapabago po ni validator. Okay po? So, yung po So, we are putting our trust and confidence in you. So, Ma'am Ting, sana po nasagot natin ang katanungan. Pwede po pakiulit on how to upload the file, how to share. Hindi po masyadong nag-gets yung demo ni Ma'am Nodes, TY. Okay, so nandito na po. Let me share with you my screen. Nakikita nyo na po ba? Can you see my screen? Not yet. Hindi nyo nakikita ang screen. Yan. Dito po this is for public schools. Kasi yung sa private schools po kasi, naka-Google form po sila. So therefore, all these presentations and the memo, the copy of the memos, were sent already to Ma'am Eloise and she will be sharing it with you probably sa email po ninyo. I am not sure, but basta po na kay Ma'am Eloise na po. So siya na po magde-disseminate sa private schools. But for public schools, andito na po. May folder na po akong ginawa dyan, BEIS Validation Guide. When you open that, nandiyan na po yung 2 pong presentation natin. Okay po? Siguro naman po kukuha po natin ito if we reread it again. Pero kung gusto po ninyo na isa-isahin natin, so let's say for example, may share ka ba sa akin, Nolly? Pa-share sa akin ng file. I-send mo please sa akin. Apa. So let's say mag-upload ako sa public secondary. I-share lang po sa akin ni Sir Nolly. Saglit lang po. Sa email ko po, Sir Nolly. Or sa messenger ko ba? Messenger? Okay. Sige. May nag-greet happy birthday. Nakikikig ako. Nuli, dali na. Kung ano digdi magruluwas digdi. Okay. So let's say this is the file that we're going to upload. So punta tayo dito. So syempre po, magbubukas kayo dito sa link. Nakabukas na po yung DepEd email po ninyo ng school. So for example, ako po ay magbubukas pa ako. Yung pangalan po ng school, kailangan ko po username, password. I need to access this using your school's account. Okay. So, punta tayo sa LIS. Ay, hindi. Tama. Ay, hindi. Sige, kasi kailangan po natin mag-access ng email address ng school kasi hindi po pwede po yung personal email natin. So, papasok tayo ng 301855 at deped.gov.ph. So, this is for UAS Polytechnic School. Password, tab, and all. Pwede po today, Nolly. Kalimutan ng password pa, gagalitan ka ni Ma'am Jane. Kalimutan ng password. Hindi mo na alam ang password? Okay. Mag-iiba tayo ng school. Hindi tayo pupunta ng UAS Polytechnic. Pupunta tayo ng Ginubatan East Central School. So, 11, 17, 10 at deped.gov.ph. Kailangan ko po ang file ng school nyo. Hindi po pwede i-upload ko ay secondary, ma'am notes. So, sana makapasok tayo. Good. Okay. So, ito po ay official email address ng Ginubatan East Central School. Maraming salamat po sa pagpahiram po ng inyong email address. So, nakabukas na tayo dito. Magbubukas tayo ngayon ng ating yung link. Ay, unable to find. May period kasi. Yun. So, mag-upload tayo, public elementary. Ginubatan East Central. Dito tayo. Hanapin natin. Oh, meron ka na baga dito? So, hindi ito. So, kunwari, Okay. Sige. So, ito po ay mag-upload tayo. So, new. You don't have permission to edit. DepEd Kinubatan East. Kasi nga, ano, access.com.ph. Ayusin. 11-17-10 at DepEd.com.ph. Hindi na pa rin. Mas 11-17-10 at DepEd.com.ph. Wala? Okay. Yun. Okay, so now I can upload a file. So, file upload. Hanapin natin si eto. Hindi pa niya rename. Dapat i-rename natin muna. Cancel. Rename muna tayo at pagagalitan tayo ni Ma'am Nods. So, ang renaming po ay rename the file. Ang ating convention ay GESP SY2021-2022 _ 11-17-10 _ deng SY. Kulang pala yung aking GSP 2021-2022 _ school ID _ the school name. Kinubatan East CS. Ganyan. Okay. Enter. Na-rename na natin yung file. So, pwede na po tayo ulit mag-upload. So, plus, add, upload yan. File upload. So, hanapin po natin kung saan natin siya sinave. Nasa downloads po siya. Ito po. Open. Mag-upload na po dito sa lower right portion. Ayan, nakikita nyo. So, kung may in-upload na isa pa, dapat po, itong nauna kasi, this one, hindi po ito yung in-upload natin kasi hindi po siya yung tamang file name. Ito po in-upload natin, ito na po yung tama kasi ito po yung my GESP 2021-2022 _ school ID _ the school name. So that's how you upload your file. Okay, so again, we encourage you to have a separate file. So meaning to say, ito po in-upload ninyo, dito na mag-exchange kayo ng comments and replies between the validator and the school. Pero, yung mga changes po dito na in-effect natin, this must also be reflected in the separate file that you have. Yun nandun po sa downloads ninyo. So, pag binuksan ninyo itong file niyo na nasa downloads o nasa desktop or nasa documents ninyo, this must show also kung ano po yung file na nandoon sa Google Drive na pinag-validate po ni validator. Okay po. So, dapat parehas po. So, mag-i-ensure po nito kasi ang pipirma po sa baba, tingnan nyo. Nakalagay baga dyan, the school head will certify as to the correctness. Yan baga, certified true and correct by the school head. So, therefore, dapat po, si school, i-ensure niya na tama, accurate, valid, reliable ang data po dito sa inyo pong school profile. Okay po? So, yan po yung pag-upload. At saka pag-effect doon sa inyong separate file na nasa drive ninyo, na either nasa download, sa desktop, or nasa documents po ninyo. But we suggest that this particular file must have, kunwari, na-effect nyo na yung corrections doon galing sa pag-validate ng validators, in-effect nyo dito sa file niyo, i-rename po natin, lagyan natin sa dulo, lagyan natin ng dash final. Okay? This must not have the comments of the validators. Otherwise, sabi nga po dun sa nag-comment, maraming salamat po sa nag-comment. Otherwise, hindi po niya ma-upload kasi lalabas na file is too large. Okay po? So, para po wala tayong problema, pag-upload po natin sa BEIS system, mismo sa site, dapat po ay it must not have the comments of the validators and it must reflect all the comments, suggestions, and recommendations stated or mentioned by the validator. So, kung ano po yung nandun sa ating Google Drive, parehas po dapat yun nang i-upload natin sa system. Okay po? Sana po malinaw po. So, ay mali. Stop sharing na pala ako. So that's it. So, okay. Now, so we go to the other comments. Yung shared po sa SY Albay School Heads Group memo, wala po attached yung names of validators. Meron po. Ito po, in itself, nandito na po mismo yung pangalan. So, paano po walang naka-attach sa pangalan? Andito po yung pangalan, So, this is the signed mother memo, dated April 28. Ayan po yung mga pangalan. Yung binasa ko, lahat po yan may mga pangalan. These are all names of the validators. Probably you are referring to the DRRN team and the health and nutrition data. Opo, kasi the time that we were preparing this, they did not yet submit to me the list of their validators. So that's why, nasa addendum po siya. And the addendum is, I've mentioned, is still for signature po na SDS. Hindi po kasi nag-report pa sa SDS because she's busy with the provincial canvassing. So this one is still for signature, pero nandyan na po yung mga pangalan po ng ating validators, yung mga additional po. Okay? And then, pwede na po bang mag-upload? So, yes po. Very good. So, kung meron na po kayo, handa na po, wala pong problema. You can upload it now and mag-instructing po kami later sa validators because we will be having a meeting this afternoon with them, especially dun sa mga baguhan, that they can start. Wala pong problema kasi po pwede po na simultaneous. Po pwedeng si Lidong ES sa Santo Domingo nag-upload kunwari today, ngayon na, this hour. So walang problema kung lahat kami sabay-sabay na mag-access doon at mag-validate kasi so file naman po na yon ay iba-iba naman po ang titingnan namin kasi iba-iba po ang data element na concern namin. So therefore, it doesn't matter. So if you can upload it today, much better and we highly appreciate po kung makakapag-upload po kayo. Ibig sabihin, mababawasan na po yung 556 ng isa. So 555 na lang pang intayin namin. Okay po? So salamat po. Okay, sabi dito, Ma'am Nods, I am accessing ATM, the link provided to upload the templates for validators. To check, it says I do not have permission to edit the folder OWASP North. I'm currently using the school head's account. Okay. Inayos na daw po ni Ma'am Nod. So, okay na po. So, sorry po, I cannot read your name kasi nakalagay lang po dito ay Facebook user. So, kung sino man po ito, salamat po sa inyo pong comment. Okay na po, naayos na po. Clarification po, galing po kay Ma'am Rowena Felices. Clarification po ulit. Ang school head po na ilalagay, ang school head as of October 31, kahit po ang nag-prepare ay present school head po. Ano po? Yes po. Kasi po, may cut-off po tayo sa ating mga tawag nito, templates. So, kung as of October 31 po ang cut-off nito, yung school head po as of that time, siya po ilalagay doon. So, probably naman po, kahit bago na pong school head, the records of the school are still in the school. Di po dinala ng dating school head, palipat po ng ibang school. So, regardless po kung sino na po ang nakaupo ngayon na school head, ang naniniwala po kami na ang record po ng school ay nandiyan pa rin po sa school. So, please use that as basis. And we encourage you to look at last year's BEIS. Tignan lang po use that as your basis. But not necessarily po na copy-paste po tayo. Kasi sabi ko nga po, magkakaproblema tayo na malaki kasi the system will not allow for us to copy-paste from last year's template. So, regardless po kung sino na po ang school head ngayon, basta po as of October 31 ang cut-off natin. So kung sino po ang school head that time, siya po ang ilalagay natin dyan na school head. Okay po? Maraming salamat po. Kung wala naman from Facebook user, wala pong pangalan. Kung wala naman pong entries like 0 lang naman, pwede na po ba wag lagyan ng entry? Ito po, i-clarify ko ito. Kasi for Ma'am Jane, ayaw po niya maglagay kayo ng 0 kasi magkaiba daw po ang blank at 0. So especially for data needing numerical values, it is highly encouraged that you put 0. Although, if you forgot, automatic po yung pag wala po kayong linagay, mag-0 po siya. Pero highly encouraged po talaga, si Ma'am Jane po is against lalo na sa ICT data, na magbablank po kayo. Dapat po may laman. Ano po? Kasi pag blanko kayo, ibig sabihin, probably wala kayo noon, hindi pa kayo nabibigyan. Pero pag 0 kasi, iba din po kasi ibig sabihin pag 0. Okay? So, yung blank tsaka 0, according kay Ma'am Jane, ay magkaiba. So para sa kanya, wag po kayo maglagay ng blank, mag-0 po kayo kung wala. Okay po? Sige po. Pwede po pahingi ulit ng validator's link. Wait lang po. What do you mean by validator's link? The validators can access the drive. It's the same way that the schools can access and upload their profiles into the drive. So the same po ang pagbubuksan natin. So regardless kung kayo po ay validator or school, we access the same link po. Only that, yung, anong tawag nito, Ma'am Nods, yung kung commenter, kung editor, kung ano viewer, yung access, yung restrictions, magdi-differ po especially doon sa Google Sheet. Yung makikita nyo na Google Sheet na may mga pangalan ng schools, doon po talaga, hindi nyo po ma-view yung ibang contents. Ang makakabukas lang po, makaka-edit doon ay yung validator. For example, for DRRM, yung column for DRRM, ang makaka-enter lang po doon ng comments o kung ano man ay yung mga taga-DRRM. Okay po? District ALS po, isasama po ba namin sa school? Saan po? In what particular aspect? Hindi ko po maintindihan ang tanong. Personnel sa table? Tanungin natin ito si Ma'am Belen. Ma'am Eve, Ma'am Evelyn Lim, are you with us? Si Ma'am Belen po ang sasagot nito. So might as well po, during the validation, for the HR, wait lang po, papababaan ko doon si Ma'am Belen ng tao. Friends, paapot po kay Ma'am Belen. She's busy with the assessment. That's why she's not with us. Can you please clarify to her habang nakikinig pa po sa atin kung ang district ALS po ba isasama sa school? Kung ika-count siguro sa school as school personnel. Kasi palagi yan ang talaga, nalilituan ng mga tao. Kung kasama ba ang ALS sa school. Okay, yung district ALS ha. Thank you. So, pinapatanong po natin kay Ma'am Belen, Ma'am Lim. So, hintayin po natin ang sagot. I-park na natin. So, we proceed with the next. Again, from Sir Alvin Gregorio, can we create po a GC and add all the EBS preparer and all the validators for... Meron pong GC. Okay? Meron pong GC. Doon po, if you're a new validator, meron tayong Facebook group, BEIS Validators. Ano po? So therefore, dapat member kayo doon. Otherwise, nahirapan tayo mag-communicate. So we have an existing group as of last year, as well as we have an existing messenger GC na BEIS Help Desk. So if you're not yet a member of that, so later po siguro during the meeting, we can ask po kung sino pong in charge sa inyo. So for the ICT group, si Ma'am Jane po. So siguro isa-isa natin na ipasok doon sa group. Meron po tayo. Meron kami. So wag kayong mag-alala. Okay? Okay. The question was pertaining to table 11, 11A and B. Hindi po niyo ito naitanong during the discussion, the orientation, kasi this time around, hindi na po natin kasama si Ma'am Belen. Hindi po siya join. Pero, pinapatanong po natin, so wait lang po ulit. So, another question. Okay. Automatic po ba sa Google Drive makikita ng validators ang uploaded na through the school account po? Ma'am, okay po. Papakita ko po ulit ako po ay validator. So kung kunwari po ma'am, may nag-upload ng school, si school po at si validator, parehas po makikita kasi isang link lang po binubuksan natin. So this one I am sharing with you. Pag nag-click po ako dito sa public secondary, lahat po tayo makikita natin kung sino na po nag-upload sa UAS, sino na po nag-upload sa Malilipot, kasi you can click that but the school na hindi po sa kanya yung file na yun, they cannot put anything. So therefore, huwag kayo mag-alala na baka ma-jeopardize po, baka inadvertently mabura yung inyong data. Hindi po, because they will not be given permission to do anything to your templates. They can only view it pag hindi sila binigyan o ginanantan ng permission. Ang owner po ng file ay school.
Ang ALS daw po dapat nasa central schools.
Okay, so balikan natin yan, wait lang po. Pag nag-upload na po yung school profile, please change the restriction from editor to commenter. So the owner of the file is the school. So as the owner of the file, you have the power to change or to restrict kung sino po ang makakapag-access lang po sa inyong file. So therefore, to avoid po kasi we can see the validators and everybody else can see all the profiles in the Google Drive. Therefore, ayoko po na may magalaw na data ko. Ako as the owner of the file, kailangan ko po na ipalitan yung restriction ko doon sa aking Google, sa file ko, Google Sheet ko, ng restriction from editor to commenter. Lahat ng mag-access sa file, including the validators. Para yung validator ay magko-comment lang talaga. Hindi nila pwedeng palitan yung entry or yung data ninyo. Okay po. So sana po ma'am malinaw po yung pinakita ko So both the validators and the schools can see. So pag sinabi mo paano malalaman namin na naka-upload na kayo, dito po pag binuksan namin, makita namin na nandiyan na kayo, ay nandiyan na po kayo. Po? So yun po yun. Sana po nasagot ang tanong. And going back doon po sa going back doon sa tanong po natin sa table 11A, 11B, ang sabi po ni Ma'am Bilan Lim, yung district ALS coordinator ay dapat kasama kabilang po sa central school. Okay po. So to answer the question, kasama po dapat ang district ALS coordinator sa central school po. Okay po. Ma'am Nods, hindi automatic po ba sa Google Drive makikita na lang ba? Okay na pala ito. Ma'am Ting, good morning po. Yung school head po ilalagay, sinasagot ko na rin pala po ito. Galing po kay Ma'am Francia Sanyes. Medyo mahaba-haba ito. Po? Good morning po, Ma'am Ting. LIS issue po ito. Ay, sorry. Hindi po tayo ngayon magbabasa ng LIS because we will be having 1 week scheduled entirely for LIS. So we're having that first week of June. So nakikita niyo po pinograma namin ng maigi, inuna namin ng NSBI, lahat ng NSBI. So ngayon, validation na lang kami. So ngayon naman po, we are focused on BEIS. So lahat tayo BEIS. Come first week of June, mag-LIS tayo ng 5 days. So all about LIS, transfer concerns, ticketing concerns, papunta ng central office will be answered on those periods pa. So pasensya na muna kasi ipapark muna natin ang LIS kasi po ang BEIS maunang mag-close. So ang inuna namin, wait lang. Sasagutin ko itong comment mamaya. Wait lang. I-address ko muna rin sa LIS. Kasi po, we need to focus first on the BEIS. Kasi yung NSBI po unang magko-close. Kaya inuna natin. Sunod po magko-close ay BEIS. That's why we're doing it now. And yung last po magko-close ay yung LIS. So LIS will be closing kasi last day of classes po is June 24, right? So mga first week of July po magko-close sa LIS. So we scheduled 1 month ahead na dapat po makapag-ticket na tayo sa central office, na po tayo finalize ng classes, yung mga transfer natin, ma-solution na natin. So, we're giving ourselves 1 month in advance to do all of this. So, hintayin na lang po muna natin yung sa LIS. Pasensya na po, ma'am. Gustuhin ko man pong sagutin. Okay. Pa? Okay. So, ito po. Anong i-rename? Di ba nag-rename na ng file?
Ito, nag-upload siya. Yung same lang. Kasi sa Segway, in-upload ako naman na template. O habok niya na mag-download ng
Saan nung school niya ng district?
Gabos na mga folder din. May sample na din.
Tapos?
Siyempre, kung habok niya nagayod mag-download sa system.
Bakit ka nag-agit sa sample? Di malilibong iyan. May log ito.
Wala, niya naman ito.
Tingin mo po, malilibog sinda. Okay. So, ma'am, may tanong po dito. Same lang po ba yung form na nasa drive nasa okay, ito. Kasi ang ginawa po ni Ma'am Nodes, ano po, ginawa niya para hindi na kayo mahirapan, sana nilagay na siya ng sample nandoon. Blank po yun. Blank yun, di ba? Blank na form, either GSP or government senior or government junior. Naglagay na siya doon sa drive. Ngayon, para hindi kayo malito, pinapatanggal ko na lang sa kanya kasi dapat nandun sa loob ay may laman na. So baka kasi malito kayo, akala nyo yun na yun, pinapatanggal ko na lang. So you must upload the one, yes po, to answer the question, the one from the Google Drive, ay from the BEIS site that you downloaded and accomplished po. So in-encodean ninyo, yun din po ang i-upload nyo sa Drive. Okay po. Pero, ang sabi ko nga, you must have a separate file na nandun po sa inyo. Di ba yung in-upload nyo, may file pa din kayo niyan sa downloads niyo or sa desktop niyo or sa documents. After the validators have finished validating all the programs and data elements, kung ano man po yung mga exchange ninyo doon ng please comply, please put 0, please put na-effect nyo na doon, nagawa nyo na doon sa Google Drive, make sure na yun po yung mga changes, corrections, or revisions doon sa template na nasa Drive ay mai-effect ninyo. Magawa nyo din po na correction doon sa file na nandyan sa computer po ninyo. Kasi yung pong file na naiwan dyan sa computer ninyo, na wala doon sa Drive, yung pong i-upload natin ngayon sa BEIS site. Huwag po natin i-upload yung may mga comments ng validator kasi magkakaproblema po tayo. Magkakaroon kayo ng error na file too large. Okay po. Sige po. Ay, sige. Si Sir, next. Si Isay po nagtaram na thanks. Ay, move on na tayo. Sir Viniting Morano. Tanong ko po, sir, may combi teacher pa po ba tayo? Ika-count po siya. May instruction po doon sa template kung saan mo siya ika-count, where mas madami po siyang subjects na tinuturo. Kunwari, teacher ako sa 5 and 6. Kung mas madami akong sa grade 6, doon ako ika-count. Pero mayroon po kasi doon na table na count only once. At meron din doon table na count more than once. So, paki-refer na lang po doon, sir, sa table because there are definitions and reminders there per table. So, nandun po sa baba, may notation niya. Pakibasa na lang po. Sige. Next po. Wala na po. Salamat din po. So, again, if ever po we do feel the need to call for another orientation or meeting or follow-up na session na kagaya nito po, we will just inform you again kung sakali po na midway of the validation, marami po tayo ma-encounter ng mga problema na dapat masolusyonan po natin. So we will probably be calling for another activity na ganito po Pero sana po, pinagpe-pray namin na maging smooth po ang validation natin for this year, na wala po sana masyadong maraming mishaps or mga problems, hurdles. Kasi for this year, mas marami po ang validators natin compared last year. Last year sa DRR, mag-isa lang po si Sir Vin. Last year din po, konti lang po yung validators ni Ma'am Mirnalyn. And for last year, si Ma'am Jane, siya lang po, tsaka yung staff niya. So for this year, we are hoping na mas maging madali, maging smooth, kasi mas madami pong katulong tayo na mag-i-ensure po ng quality, reliability, at validity ng ating data. Ano pa? Meron pang pahabol. Aha. Good. Sir, Bonggalay. Good morning po. Pwede po pa-flash sa screen yung link to upload template. Maraming salamat po. Wait lang po Papakita ko ulit. Saang link? Wait lang po. When daw po ang deadline? Okay, so ipapakita ko ulit yung presentation. Ang deadline po ay yung schedule ng validation. So kung ano po ang araw ng inyo pong schedule for the municipality, yung po yung deadline ibig sabihin. So let me share with you again my presentation. I hope you are seeing this. Nakikita po ba? O hindi ko na-click yung share. Nalito na ako. Can you see my presentation?
Hindi pa na-share, ma'am.
Sorry. Sorry na, Ma'am Jane. Nalilito na ako. Okay, share. Share screen. Sorry po. Ayan. So, hopefully, you can see. Okay, so I am sharing with you. Ito po. Again, ito po yung ating schedule. So, kung nakaschedule po ang Bakakay ng Friday, pero tapos na po kayo at gusto niyo na po mapavalidate ang inyong template or profile, you can already upload it now or tomorrow. So, wala pong problema. And for the validators, please do check from time to time kasi based on experience po, hindi ibig sabihin na nakaschedule si Bakakay ng May 13, May 13 lang siya mag-upload. Hindi po. Minsan po, na-upload po si Bakakay June 3. So, joke lang po yun, pero totoo yan. So, it doesn't mean na yung schools ay nag-upload on the day na nakaschedule sila. We encourage you to do so, but sometimes po, we understand na may mga restrictions din po. So, basta po, within this date, so from May 13 to June 2, expected na naka-upload na kayo sa system at na-validate na rin po kayo. Kaya that's why we ask the validators, kaya nyo bang tapusin ang validation on these dates from May 13 to June 2? If not, kumuha kayo ng mga kakampi, ng mga kaalyada, ng mga kapamilya, kapuso na tutulong sa inyo. Okay po? So, ito po ang schedule. Okay? Then, the links po. Here are the links. Again, sorry. Where are the links? Nasa kabila. Sorry na. Here are the links. So, for public schools, public elementary, public secondary, so junior high school profile and senior high school profile, dalawa po sa secondary ang i-upload ninyo. One for government junior, one for government senior. Hindi lang po isa. Kasi based din sa experience last year, kulit kami ng kulit sa school kasi hindi pa nag-upload ng senior high school profile. Ang paniwala ni SchoolEd, naka-upload na siya. True, naka-upload kayo pero government junior pa lang. Yung government senior is a separate profile. So please make sure if you are a secondary school, dalawa po ang i-upload ninyo. Government junior high school profile and government senior high school profile. If you are an integrated school, such as Alimsog Integrated and San Agustin Integrated, tatlong templates po ang ini-expect namin sa inyo. Iba po yung sa government elementary, iba po yung sa government junior, iba din po yung sa government senior. Okay po? So, yan po ulit yung ating Google Drive link for public schools. For public schools. For private schools po, may questions po pala, Sir Nolly?
Yung list lang ng mga
Validators. Sinend ko na po kay Ma'am Eloise. Okay, so ito po yung private schools na link po natin. This is Google form. So you need to accomplish it and upload sa dulo. You need to upload your profile. So ito po yung ating link. Okay po, sana po nakuhanan po natin And as mentioned again, nasa template, nasa Google Drive na po yung itong mga presentations na to, including the memos. Sa private schools naman po, it was already sent to Ma'am Eloise and Ma'am Eloise will be sending it to the concerned private schools po. Okay po? So, may clarifications pa din po, may tanong pa rin po. Kasi po, this afternoon, announcement po sa members po ng validating team, we'll be having a meeting po at 1:30. Doon na lang po siguro Ma'am Jane sa validators, BEIS Validators FB. Ma'am Jane, tama po ba?
All validators ba yan, ma'am? All validators po yung
All
meeting mamaya?
validators po. Yes, ma'am, all. Especially doon
Kasi
sa mga
yung-
bago.
Yung ICT ko kasi nakaschedule din ako mamayang alauna.
Alauna. Sige, we will have the meeting at 3. By 3, tapos na po ba kayo, ma'am?
Sige, mga 3 po, ma'am.
Sige. So
Mga
we'll have a
3,
meeting. Yes po. All validators na nakalista po doon sa ating memo, may meeting po tayo ng 3 p.m. after the meeting of the ICT coordinators. Ano po? So, especially doon sa mga baguhan, doon sa mga nasa addendum po na validators, we are encouraging you to join the meeting kasi baka po may mga katanungan kayo na hindi po kayo naka-attend nung unang meeting ng validators. So, we hope to see you and hear from you later. Ano po? So, kung wala na po mga katanungan po from the participants from public and private schools, wala na po. Meron sa private. Yes po. Ano po yung tanong po from the private? Kung ask ko po kung yung in-upload po namin sa BEIS, i-upload po sa link. Baliktad po ata. Ay, yes! Okay, sige. Tama. The schools po, the private schools, maraming salamat po kasi 40 private schools, they have already uploaded sa system. Kasi na ano sila, na advance sila mag-upload. So, yun nandun po sa system, yun po ang i-upload nyo doon sa link po na binigay namin, yun pong i-validate ni Ma'am Eloise. And if ever there are corrections, changes, recommendations to be made by the validators, and not just Ma'am Eloise, kasi may other validators po tayo identified, kung ano man po yung changes doon, i-effect nyo po doon sa nasa drive na in-upload ninyo. Okay. Then, yung nandun po sa BEIS site, mapapalitan po yun once mag-re-upload po kayo. So that's why, di ba, sabi namin, you must have 2 files. One, that you will upload sa drive na i-validate ng validators, wherein may mga comments doon na makikita. Pero po, yung comments na yon, yung corrections and recommendations na yon, must not only be reflected in the said file in the drive, but must also be reflected in the file na nakatago po dyan either nasa downloads ninyo, sa desktop ninyo, or sa documents ninyo. And that file na nasa computer ninyo, yung pong i-re-upload ninyo sa BEIS site, if ever po, sa private schools, if ever po, you have already uploaded. Ano po? Kasi sabi ko nga, wala pong limit. You can re-upload as many times, but the last file uploaded will be considered the final profile of the school for the school year. Yun din po ang i-validate namin ng team namin sa final validation po. Okay po? So, okay na po ba? So, as of the moment, wala po muna magtatanong sa hard copy kasi we are not expecting you to submit any hard copy kasi online po lahat ang transactions natin. Ano po? And then, eventually po, pagtapos na, we will just announce whether you will be submitting a hard copy duly signed po. Ano? So, please wait for that. Yes, opo. Siyempre, yun nandun po sa BEIS na in-upload ng private schools. Once din-download nyo yun, you have to rename that. Following the convention given po kanina, yung PSP 2021-2022 _ school ID _ the name of the school. If I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me right, baka po kasi mali. Pero please just refer to the presentation. As mentioned, nabigay na po yun kay Ma'am Eloise. Please wait for it to be shared with you. Ano pa? Sana po, meron pa po bang katanungan? Clarifications? Please don't forget to accomplish the attendance link po na pinakita namin kanina. May tanong pala dito sa SPED. Ma'am Ting, sa table 6 po, LM, walang SPED doon. Saan po ilalagay ang mga SPED teachers natin with SPED item? Doon po, sa table 6. Meron doon. Sa table 11, doon sa personnel, meron doon. Elementary, meron po doon. Yung rini-refer nila kanina, yung may sa ALS, that's all pertaining to the teaching personnel. Nandun po nakalagay, kung may SPED teacher kayong item, nandun po, count, nakalagay doon. Ano po? Sa table 6 po kasi, iba po kasing hinihingi doon. Hindi po yung kinakount yung sa SPED teachers. Kasi yung inventory of teachers, nasa isang table lang po. If I'm not mistaken, it's table 11 or 11A. Ano po? So, hindi po yan. Please do read the titles of the tables kasi baka yung data na pinapasok nyo ay hindi po kagaya ng hinihingi ng table na yan. So, yan po ang titignan po ng validators po natin. Ano po? So, if the validators are listening, check the title of the table and the definition of the term sa baba, or kung may reminders doon or may notation, please do read them po. To guide the validators, especially the new ones. Madami po mga baguhan na validators for this year. So hopefully po for this afternoon, ma-clarify po natin yan sa validators. Ano po? Ano daw? Save as Google Sheets. Po pwede na? Dapat pag nag-upload changes sa sa Google Drive, dapat pirmi i-click sa save as Google Sheets. Hindi mo yung diniscuss kanina? Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Nods, wag po kalimutan kung mag-save kayo, mag-upload kayo sa Google Drive, dapat naka-save muna siya as Google Sheet. Pag naka-upload na siya. Oo, dapat naka-Google Sheet siya. So, isi-save niyo siya as Google Sheet. Oo. I-double click niyo yung in-upload ninyo na Excel file. Pag bubukas siya, tapos punta kayo sa file. Pag pumunta kayo sa file, makikita niyo doon, save as Google Sheets. I-click niyo po yun. So, dapat po, ang ang i-validate po ni Validator ay hindi Excel file na uploaded, kundi Google Sheet. Okay po, para gumana po yung sa comments na yan. Para all features, makikita po natin gumagana po yung features na yan. Kasi pag Excel lang po siya, some features are not, you cannot use some of the features and it's not accessible. Okay po? So please don't forget to save. Once you've uploaded in the drive, you double click that file and dun kayo sa file, sa first tab, file, hanapin nyo po yung save as Google Sheets. Okay, save as Google Sheet. Okay po? Sige po. Ang mobile teachers po, ang alam ko, counted po sila dito sa division. Ano po? So, yung district ALS coordinator, siya po ang counted sa district, sa central school. Pakibasa na lang po ulit ng template. So, ibig sabihin, may tanong kayong ganito kasi hindi nyo pa nababasa na maigi. Please do read. We expected at this rate, kasi we've been doing this for a long time. Alam nyo na po ito and naitanong nyo na dapat ito during the orientation for the BEIS. We are expecting that today the questions will be about validation, not the data entries or the data elements per table. Okay po? In terms po doon sa name ng validator, so original na name po ba ilalagay? Yes po. Yes po. Kasi the additional validators, kumbaga mga kamay po yan ni Ma'am Jane. Kasi hindi naman po kaya ni Ma'am Jane mag-isa. But since Ma'am Jane is the only IT officer we have in the division, yung pangalan niya po ilalagay doon. So maraming salamat po sa pag-clarify. Opo. So sorry po kung nalito kayo. The names of the additional validators that we issued po na nakalagay po sa memo. Hindi po yung pangalan nila ilalagay natin doon sa template. Okay? So for example, ang nakalagay po doon ay SEPs for HRTD, si Ma'am Claire po ilalagay natin. Kung nakalagay po doon ay PDO2, si Sir Alvin Cus po ilalagay natin. Okay po. Pag kunwari po ay focal person ng sa iPad, pangalan po ni Ma'am Mirnalyn Bueno ilalagay natin. So that is why naka-specify naman po doon sa mother memo natin kung sino po yung lead, yung focal person. Usually po, yung nasa unahan po na pangalan, siya po ang lead. Okay? Pero pagdating po dito sa tungkol po sa education facilities, dalawa po kasi ang kino-cover nito doon sa table na yon. May concern po doon si engineer at may concern din po doon si attorney. Tignan po natin doon sa baba kung ano po nakalagay doon na pangalan ng supposedly mag-validate po kung si Engineer Ebio po or si Attorney Insisa. So paki-check na lang po doon sa template. Please do not modify or change the positions of the validators po na nandoon. Kung sino po dapat ang nakalagay doon na validator, yun po talaga ilalagay natin. Ano po? Kasi po these are templates provided by the central office. So we cannot make the unnecessary changes po doon sa template unless otherwise may hiningi sa ating data o hiningi tayo ng pangalan. Okay po? Ma'am, yung extension school po, isasabay po ba sa mother school or separate po sa iisa lang po kasi unless otherwise extension school ay may separate school ID, by school ID po tayo. Okay po? So, kung ang extension school ay may teachers, counted po siya sa mother school kasi wala po siyang school ID. Same with annexes. Okay po? So, by school ID po tayo kasi kung extension school ka and you're planning to prepare a separate government elementary school profile, ano pong school ID ninyo? Di ba po sa mother school pa din? So, all data pertaining to the extension school is counted already, carried over po yun ng mother school. Okay po? Pero maraming salamat for the question. Thank you for that wonderful question. Sa OER, ma'am, paano if you feel? Ito po ay kay Sir, ano po ito? Kay Sir Malyapre po itong OER. Okay po? Tanungin na lang po natin si Sir Malyapre. Sir Edison, are you with us? Nag-join po ba si Sir Edison? Wait lang po. Saglit lang po ano. Sa OERs po, ma'am, ang tanong po dito ay number of open educational resources used as distance learning modality developed by teachers previous school year 2020-2021. Number, kailan po ang OER na na-develop ng teachers for distance learning ng first quarter for kindergarten ilan? For second quarter na for kindergarten ilan? So on and so forth. Number po ang hinihingi na open educational resources po. Okay po? Okay? So, meron pa po ba? Pag na-save na ba bilang Google Sheet, kailangan po bang i-delete originally uploaded file? Yes po. Para hindi po kayo malito. Kasi originally uploaded file ay Excel. Baka mamaya, nagawa dun sa Excel, yung Google Sheet, na-save niya sa Google Sheet, hindi nyo na napansin. So para hindi, to avoid confusion, please delete the original file that you uploaded na naka-Excel. And yun na po nung naka-save as Google Sheet, yun na po ang gagamitin natin. Okay po. Anyway, pag dinownload naman natin siya, as Excel naman po, di ba? Kanina pinakita din ni Ma'am Nodes na you download it again as Excel file. Okay po. Kaya nga po. So tama po yun. Tama po yung tanong po ninyo. Maraming salamat po for clarifying. Para hindi po talaga ma-confuse yung mga tao, please delete the original file na Excel file na na-upload po natin sa Drive once po na-save na natin siya as Google Sheet. Huwag po i-delete na hindi pa po na-save as Google Sheet. I-save as muna ninyo as Google Sheet. Then when successful na naging Google Sheet na siya, that's the time you delete the Excel file uploaded in the Drive. Okay po. So, ang pakiusap ko nga po, kung medyo nalilito tayo dito sa mga pag-save as na Google Sheet, pagkaganyan, please do ask the assistance of the ICT coordinators. Po alam ko po na very willing to help po sila. Okay, they are the unsung heroes of the schools kasi alam ko marami silang task pero still hindi po sila nagsasawang tumulong sa atin. So, we are asking the assistance of the ICT team. So, maraming salamat po. Okay po. May tanong pa po ba? May clarification pa po ba? Okay, kung wala na po. So, good luck to everybody. I hope that we will have a smooth sailing validation for this year. This is the second time po na nagkaroon tayo ng online validation and hopefully what we experienced before, gamitin natin siyang lesson para ngayon po mas maging maganda ang validation po natin. Ano po? So, as mentioned earlier, if we do feel the need to call for another meeting such as this, we will do so po midway po ng validation natin. So with that, kung wala na po tayo ibang katanungan, wala na po ibang announcements or clarifications, maraming salamat po sa pag-attend po ng ating validation orientation for BEIS SY2021-2022. Maraming salamat po and enjoy your lunch. Thank you po.